Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and a bit of a different video for you today. I'm going to take a look at Coventry City's squad heading into the Premier League season and a few of their tactical approaches they could do. This is courtesy of JLA's tactics board as well. As you can see here, we're going to go through an awful lot of players, look at the squad, look at the strengths, look at the weaknesses, potentially anywhere we need to add as well before the end of the window. Please do like and subscribe. Different type of video for me today, but let's get on with it. I think we can look at this squad first of all, right? This is every single player laid out in their positions. It looks a bit of a mess on paper, but as you can see, three keepers in there, Wilson, Rushworth, Dovin, and it moves forward. The orange names up there at the top, Andrews, Brow, and Rodriguez. I've just stuck them in orange because I don't think they're going to be big squad players this season. They're probably going to get loaned out. That's the kind of category I've put them in there. So I've stuck them up the top, not to clog this squad up any more. In defence, let's start in defence there. Left backs, Jay De Silva, Jake Bidwell. Centre backs, Aurel Amenda, Liam Kitching, Joel Attabodier, Bobby Thomas, Luke Wolfenden, and right backs, Kane Keshaden and Milan van Avac. Now, there's a lot of names there. There's certainly a lot of depth at centre-back as well. Whether they're the required quality we need in the Premier League remains to be seen. There's a lot of conversation about the left-back. We know that. We know it's a position we think we need to strengthen in. I quite like Jay De Silva. I think he's very good. I'd love him to make the step up. But there's no doubt that we need some more depth in that area. I know we've got Brow, but he didn't look great in the Championship. Jake Bidwell, very experienced. But it does look like we need another addition at left-back. Wouldn't mind another centre-back coming in as well. So when we move this forward and we take a few of the names out and we clear things up a little bit, Dovin and Wilson obviously go out. Carl Rushworth is the number one. He should be fantastic this season. And then a back four, I think, Van Avac, Bobby Thomas, Aurel Amenda, Jay De Silva. That should be the starting four at Arsenal based on what we saw in that pre-season game against Monaco where we played so well, didn't we? I think there's much debate about that back four right now. Milan van Avac looks like he should be able to make the step up with ease. Definitely starting 100% this season. Bobby Thomas probably starting alongside Amenda, the new signing. That looks pretty solid as centre-backs. If you're into your FPL and you want to know how likely it is that players start, I'd say that back four and the keeper is pretty much locked in for Coventry at the start of the season. But a new left back could come in to replace Jay De Silva. Further forward is where it gets a bit more interesting. I also think the depth, by the way, on the bench there, Bidwell, Latty, Kitch, Wolfenden and Keshaden. Do we need a little bit more in that area? Possibly. Not too sure. In the midfield gets quite interesting, doesn't it? Look at those players we've got in there. Good numbers as well now. Urenchi, Grimes. How good was Urenchi against Monaco? How exciting that he's playing for our football club this season. Urenchi, Grimes, Onyeka, Torp. And that's the Eccles, Hamer and Rodoni as potentially the more forward-thinking central midfielders, number 10. I know Hamer and Eccles can both play a bit deeper if they need to, but that's how we're seeing it right now. Decent amount of quality in there, decent amount of depth. I quite like our midfield right now. I think what we'll see, if we do move this forward again a little bit, I think we'll see Torp, Eccles and Hamer as the subs early on. I think Urenchi, Grimes and Onyeka, I think they, given the performance against Monaco, I think they bring a lot to the team. They've got the physicality, they've got the legs. Grimes has got the quality as well to make the step up on the ball. I like those three a lot as a trio. Maybe not the trio people thought we'd see. Maybe we'd want to see more of a number 10 with Rodoni in there, maybe Hamer in there, maybe Torp pushing forward. But those three look, with two box-to-box midfielders, look like they could have a big, big impact on this team. So I think if you look at that back four, the goalkeeper and the midfield three, that is pretty set right now and fairly solid. There's a lot of quality in that midfield. I do really like it. It's the attack, right? This attacking section of the team, the final third, which is difficult right now, I think is the fair thing to say. We move on to the next one. That's the big thing. Look at what we've got there, right? We've got Mason Clark in there, we've got Rodoni in there, we've got Hadji Wright in there, we've got Sakamoto in there. When trying to pick a front three now, the big issue is three of our key players are out and they're all playing at the top end of the pitch. Hadji Wright, Ephron Mason Clark, Jack Rodoni, all injured for the start of the season. Hadji Wright quad injury, Jack Rodoni's shoulder surgery, not sure how well that went and whether he'll be out for a little while as well. Mason Clark in training again this week, trying to get some minutes but won't be fit to start that first game. And when you take that front three out and those three really key players, three of our best players, it does look a little shallow, doesn't it? I've picked Brandon Thomas-Asante on the left with Mason Clark out. That's what we saw. This is the team that played against Monaco. Chowner on the right and Ellis Sims up front. Tats may be unlucky not to start, maybe to lose his place, but we've spent 20 million quid on this Burnley winger Chowner, and he scored against Monaco, can play on both sides. Maybe we'll see him on the left and Sakamoto on the right. That's a possibility, but we're looking at this 4-3-3. This feels like the most likely lineup right now. Those three players injured at the bottom in red there do feel like a really big miss, though. If we are playing this 4-3-3 system, which it looks likely, I think the whole success of this team depends on these two central midfielders. Caleb Llorente, Frank Onyeka. We know they've got the energy. We know we've got the engines. We've got the strength. They've got the pace. They've got the power. They're two really physical players. Llorente, we only saw him for a little bit, and that game against Monaco has got everyone very excited. The box-to-box quality, the assist he got. He looks like a player who is ready for the Premier League, and he's only 20 and he's ours. How lucky are we? And Onyeka, I think he could be not a hidden gem, but I think people were slightly underrating him when he came in for on the permanent after his successful loan. What was it, £7 or £8 million? I think that's a bargain. I really do. He is a player with Premier League experience. You look across this starting 11, not much Premier League experience in it. Ellis Sims played a few games, obviously. Chowner played for Burnley. Onyeka played for Brentford. And aside from that, it's very limited indeed in terms of Premier League experience. Those two, we're going to see them pressing high, hard, aggressive. It's what we saw against Monaco. Not sure how much they'll gamble against Arsenal. We'll have to wait and see. But those two are so pivotal in their forward runs to get around Ellis Sims, to help him out. I think the wingers there, Thomas-Asante and Chowner, might be picked just to run and be physical. And really, we need to be direct with our passings. I've given Grimes the ball there. If he gets on the ball and starts playing forward and releasing these attacking runners, there's a lot of pace, and we could pass the ball forward quickly and get at teams quickly when we have the ball. We're not going to dominate possession anymore like we did last season. We are going to play it forward quickly, which we did see, by the way, at certain times last season. Get the ball forward quickly to these pacey players and be impactful in front of goal. So those two, I think, are the key in this 4-3-3. This is how it will look defensively. This is what I'm expecting against Arsenal. Very compact. 4-1-4-1 basically, 4-3-3 in transition. Ellis Sims up front. We've got an issue up front in terms of Haji Wright being out, but I actually think for these sorts of games, Ellis Sims might be a bit more impactful. We know he can run. We know he's physical. Can he do it at Premier League level? We'll have to wait and see, but I'm not against him starting. My only issue is it's him or Thomas-Asante, and I've got both of them starting. There's no other strikers on the bench who can come on and make a difference, and that is an issue in the Premier League, definitely. We need an addition up there. I don't know who it will be, but hopefully somebody can come in and make an instant impact. Ellis Sims, big role for him to play. But if we look at that kind of 4-1-4-1, if Arsenal have the ball, that is probably how it will line up. And you'll look at those hard-working wingers to cover the space for the fullbacks. Jada Silva will need some help from Thomas-Asante. Hopefully they can work together on that left-hand side. Alternative, obviously, is Sakamoto playing on the right and Chowner on the left. But I think this will probably be the lineup for Arsenal because of Asante's running, because of his energy. He will go non-stop, and that is exactly what we need. That looks fairly compact. The fullbacks will have to be narrow. Van Ayvac and De Silva tuck right in. Amenda, I love the guy already. He is a giant and he looks so good, so composed, so good in terms of dealing with those physicality. And he'll be maybe up against Gyökeres or Havertz for Arsenal. But this is for most of the away games. I think we'll see that conservative midfield three and potentially one up front and then two hard-working wingers. The centre-backs head and kick everything out of the box. That's what I'm expecting from them this season. And Rushworth, distribution will be important. Hopefully we can avoid just giving the ball straight back to the opponents. If we wanted to do something different, maybe we could look at this. This one. Yeah, this is right. Where we go to a back five. Now, this would mean dropping our wingers and Chowner wouldn't start, and that's £20 million. But if we bring Liam Kitching into a back three, and the reason I bring this up is because this is what Lampard did at Everton. He kept them up with a back three. Potentially, that's something he should look at here. Kitching on the left, Amenda in the middle, Thomas on the right of that back three, Jay Da Silva and Milan Van Eyck charging forward and providing the width on the wing-back positions, providing the width in this back five. What I think we could then do, as I've pointed out here, is kind of pack the midfield. You could have Llorente, you could have Grimes, you could have Onyeka, which, as I say, well, I think there'll be a reliable three in there. But instead of having wingers, you could then put Hamer in the number 10 position, or only if he's fit, and then go for Ellis Sims up front. I feel like in games where we are going to suffer a lot, this might not be a bad thing, but you are then taking away the pace on the break. Maybe you could put in Thomas Asante for Gus Hamer. This would just be good in terms of occupying midfielders, packing it out, stifling teams. Man City away, maybe we could see something like this. The only issue is, do we lose too much? Maybe we could take Hamer out and put Thomas Asante in up front there. And you're looking at that and you're thinking, get the ball forward quickly, and what can we do from that position? Sims and Thomas Asante, don't forget, when Lampard came in the January, they played up front together in a 5-3-2, both narrow, both centrally, and we went on a really good run with those two up front. Thomas Asante scored that goal from like the halfway line against Swansea away, and we were pretty good and pretty effective with those two up front. Do I think they'll be effective in the Premier League? It is doubtful, but 5-3-2 could be a serious option. Or, as I say, you take out Thomas Asante, you take out a Sims, and you throw in another midfielder, probably Hamer, maybe a Victor Torp, and it looks something like that. That's certainly an option for Frank to consider, because I think we do need a few wild cards and changes of formation up our sleeves. And as I've argued a few times, Frank is not wedded to a system. He has an idea, but he's very flexible. It's one of his best qualities as a manager. This could be something I think could work in a few away games, maybe a few home games against the big boys as well. I don't mind this too much. If we get another centre-back in, we've been linked with a couple of names as well, maybe this would become even more viable. Take Kitchen out, put in, shall I say it, maybe a Tomori. I know we've been linked with him. Do I think it'll happen? Probably not. But if we do go out and get another centre-back, that could be an option, and maybe another left back who's more suited to being a wing back. This could be a system that could definitely work. Next up, this, I think, if we're talking about best 11 fit right now, if I'm talking about a home game against Hull, second in the season, I look at going back to a back four. Pretty certain it'll be a 4 for most of these home games as we try and win the game. I look at a double pivot of probably Grimes and Llorente, although I do love Onyeka. It could be Onyeka and Grimes. Let's see what happens with Llorente. It could be Llorente in the 10. But if we look at this, I think this is where you do put in a Hamer in the number 10 position. It's where you do look at getting a few players further forward. I would certainly look at Sakamoto on the right here and look at bringing him into play and seeing if he can run at defenders. We know what he can do inside, outside, run at fullbacks, get crosses into the box. I'd put Chowner on the left-hand side, bit more creativity. This is a team with fewer defensive responsibilities. This is a team to go and win games of football, and I like how it's shaped up, to be honest with you. I think you can also maybe bring Thomas Asante into the 10, maybe Torp, whoever you want to throw in there could work. I just think in a game we're going to try and go and win, I probably wouldn't have Onyeka as kind of a pressing 10. Maybe Llorente could go and do that. But I think maybe we need that creativity from the off. Maybe we need to try and unpick a defence. You've got Gus on for set pieces if we need him as well. Though Grimes took a few fantastic free kicks against Monaco. I like the look of this. But as you can see, I've circled the key point here. Ellis, Sims. We have no other strikers available. Maybe Thomas Asante can cover. He is going to start the season for Coventry unless we bring someone in to hit the ground running. He is everything this team needs when he's at his best, when he's physical, when he's running, when he's scoring goals. When he's at his worst, he could cost us massively. When he's in and out of games, when he's not holding the ball up, that feels massive. We need him to be aggressive. We need him to be a beast. We need him to be getting on the end of the Chowner crosses, on the end of the Sakamoto crosses. We need him to be huge up there. He's scored a Premier League goal before at Stamford Bridge for Everton, let's not forget. He can make a big difference in the Premier League. He's a different player. I want to get behind him because he's going to have the number 9 shirt for the start of the season. Do I think he's going to play the whole season up front? No. Does he need to score goals to stay in the team? Yes. Is Ellis Sims better when he starts games of football than comes off the bench? Yes. I've said it loads of times. I think he's a 90-minute man. He needs the confidence from Frank Lampard. And if we're giving him a run of games at the start of the season, why not? Why not could he get a bunch of goals? He did it in November when Hadji Wright was out injured last. He won Championship Player of the Month. It could happen again. Obviously a different level, going to be a lot tougher. We're not going to score as many goals. We're going to find this tough. But I look at that team as a team that can go and win games. I think it can happen. Home games, we can pin teams back, good wingers, solid midfield, few options off the bench as well that I like. And that's still with the injured players out. I look at that 4-2-3-1. I like it. I still look at the left back and think, do we need an upgrade there? I think all in the comments down below, we probably do need an upgrade. I like Jada Silva. We can't rely on him every single week. Here we go, though. This is what happens. We've gone from this with the injured players out. And this is what I mean about how important they are. Because at their best, when we do that, they all come into the starting 11, I think. I think that is, right now, Coventry's best starting 11 if everyone is fit. Mason Clark's the best left winger. He was so good last season. Hopefully he can get back fit. These little injuries are costing him a bit of momentum. Rodoni, I'm expecting big things of him in the Premier League. We know he's probably on ability, maybe not now Yoenchi's here, but Rodoni last season was our best player, I think, on ability. This shoulder injury's really been bugging him, though, and that's a worry for us. Can he get back to his best? If he is at his best, you put him in that number 10, and I think he can definitely cope with the level. I think Chowner on the right as well, I'll put him in there. Could be Sakamoto, not bad at all. And I still think Hadji Wright is just above Ellis Sims in terms of goal scoring. But again, he needs to rise to this level. And that goes for every single one of our players who played in the Championship last season. I think that is our best 11 right now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Please do like and subscribe as always. But I think that is Coventry's best 11 on paper. You look at the bench who could come on. You've got Hamer, you've got Torp, you've got Onyeka as midfield options, Josh as well, Sakamoto, Sims, Thomas Sante. Don't mind them as options off the bench in the Premier League, coming on for 5, 10, 15 minutes, trying to impact the game. But we are lacking depth if we go back to that one when those injured players are out at the start of the season. We're looking at a home game against Hull here. If that is a lineup or something similar to that, a home game at Hull where you can only really bring Thomas Asante on as a really attacking sub, maybe Torp. That's it. It's not great, is it? In terms of depth, we're talking about 5 subs. We're talking about trying to win games. We're talking about trying to change games. We're left very, very short at the moment in the final third. That is my big concern for the start of the season. I think that's why Frank will go out and get another number 9. I wouldn't even mind another winger, you know. I know that's been a bit greedy. Gus is there to cover the number 10. I think that'll work quite nicely. Maybe another winger could come in and just provide a bit of depth in that area if we need it. And of course, a left back, possibly another centre back. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Let me know your thoughts on Coventry's lineup. Let me know your thoughts on this tactical video I've kind of put together and how we could line up. I really like using this tool. I think it's fantastic. Let me know if you want to see more of it throughout this season. I'm very excited for the start of the Premier League season. Arsenal away. Who can believe it? We've made it here, lads. And this is our squad. I'm excited for it. Let's hope they can go out and get the job done. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know who you think we need to sign. Let me know where you think this squad could struggle. But that's it for another video on the channel, and I'll see you next time.